a citizens' initiative signed by 1 million Europeans becomes a legislative initiative in the European Parliament. The citizens' initiative to hold an immediate EU referendum on public confidence in the competence of the European government was approved on the 23rd of August 2013 in Munich.
Dear members of the European Parliament and decision makers of the European Commission, here we sit giving our full names and showing our faces. We are not making threats and we have no weapons but words. Our sole wish as European citizens is to enjoy our lives and not to have to struggle for them. Who we are.
Mr. Eduardo Correa, university professor and politician from Lisbon, Portugal.
Nothing bad will happen if the European Commission and Parliament cease to exist. The disaster will be if they are allowed to continue operating in their present form, contributing for the destruction of Europe. We really need to save Europe.
Mrs. Veronika Lindinger, who lost her job in rural Austria because of globalization and has now become a politician.
Since we got the euro as currency, I can see how the middle class of our inhabitants becomes poorer and poorer.
Mr. Paul Whiffen, filmmaker and composer from London, United Kingdom.
We have heard your tune, we have seen your movie, and we don't like what we see and hear, and we don't want to pay any more for you to produce this rubbish. Today, we are the critics passing judgment on your work.
Mr. Alex Ionita, engineer from the village of Izvoreli, Romania. He spent 3 years after his university education looking for a job, and when he finally found one, he was paid a very small salary.
The current EU government structure is completely dysfunctional and must be removed because it's damaging the Europe.
Mrs. Zinaida Heiberger, accountant from Ventspils, Latvia. In Latvia, the poor people and the middle class have no future and no social insurance. The unemployment rate is rising. Many people are leaving Latvia. Mrs. Renate Nadolski, owner of a private business from Warsaw, Poland. Poland has already been 9 years in the European Union, but I can see how well old people live in Germany and how poorly they live in Poland.
Yesterday, we founded the Citizens Committee according to the definition in the European law, European Regulation number 211 of 2011, and worded a citizens' initiative as follows.
Title of the initiative: to hold an immediate EU referendum on public confidence in the competence of the European government. Subject matter: the European referendum question: should the current failing form of European government be replaced by one without a democratic deficit? If there is no public confidence in the current European government model, then the 2014 elections are pointless. The objectives: declining living standards, increased unemployment, economic recession, an extra 59 billion euros per annum being printed, drug addict numbers rising on an average of 4.2 million per annum since 2006. This is more than the population of Berlin, and these all highlight the current failings of the European government structure. If the European government cannot solve these problems, it is unfit for its purpose and should be summarily dissolved, as it does not enjoy the confidence of the people. A new democratic European Union structure must then be created according to the will of the people and not by faceless bureaucrats.
We ask the unelected decision makers of the European Commission and their lucky members of European Parliament to be brave enough to ask the taxpayers of Europe if they need such governance structure. If the people say yes, you are very welcome to keep your overpaid job. But if they say no, then we expect you gone in the morning.
Thank you for watching. Are you also tired of the incompetence of the EU government? Do you also think it's time we send them packing? Let us do it here and now. Please advise your friends to watch this video and sign the Citizens' Initiative as soon as it's registered by the European Commission.